What the heck? It's hot. Wow. Estamos aquí en Madrid. We're going to Canary Islands. Tara's dressed like a little canary. Espera. Dime algo.
Un regalo.
Ya, verdad.
As we take you with us on our journey through Lanzarote, we'll show you some of the strangest and most breathtaking environments, where to stay, what we ate, and things to do. Lanzarote is a Spanish island. It's the easternmost island of the Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean by Morocco. It's the fourth largest of the Canaries with the strangest landscape. Some people compare Lanzarote to the surface of the moon, but I think it looks more like Mars. It's the land of volcanoes because more than 100 volcanoes shape the island's landscapes. The earth is so hot in some parts of the island that you can cook food using the natural underground heat. The beaches have white, golden, or black volcanic sand. Grapes are grown in holes in the ground out of the volcanic ash-covered soil to produce excellent wines such as Malvasia. Come with us. Come see. Nos vamos. Everywhere you turn in Lanzarote, there is breathtaking scenery. The Castillo de los Colorades, or Torre de Águila, aka the Eagle's Tower, is a watchtower located in Punta de Águila and was constructed in the 18th century. It was used to take refuge from pirates, and the watchtower's bell was rung to warn against intruders approaching the harbor. It's free to visit and offers striking views of Playa Blanca. You can even climb up the steps and take pictures. The area of Playa Blanca is striking. We ran for miles on a trail along the coast and saw boat marinas and ran over hills and small mountains. You can see layers formed by fiery eruptions and solidified lava streams, as well as extravagant rock formations. The island emerged about 15 million years ago as a product of the Canary hotspot. Everywhere we went, we were surprised by what we saw.
Well, everyone has a name, Tara. That shows you care about them in some way. Big Willie.
There was a place along the coast by the salt flats, Salinas de Janubio, where waves just crashed so dramatically against the cliffs of the shore. We could just park right on the edge, walk out, and let the sea spray us as we droned. We saw a few other couples had pulled over to experience the natural drama too. I'm gonna let this play a little so you can experience it too. Right next door to the crashing waves are the Salinas de Janubio, and since you're right there in the southern part of the island, you might as well visit them. La Bodega de Sal is the first point of sale where you can actually acquire all the products directly made in the salt flats. Everything is 100% natural without preservatives or additives, and everything is periodically examined through a series of quality controls. I bought salt. The Janubio salt mines in Yaiza are the largest in the Canary Islands, and they still produce the white gold, which was so essential to the economy of the island until just recently, actually. The salt flats are situated in a lagoon formed from the volcanic eruptions, which produced a barrier of lava opposite the sea. I really love how the salt mines are described in Spanish by TripAdvisor. Elaboración del sal desde 1895. Espacio cultural centenario y con unos valores arquitectónicos, etnográficos y medioambientales. Uno de los lugares más singulares de Lanzarote. One of the fundamental figures in the story of Lanzarote is César Manrique, a painter, sculptor, and architect. He preserved the island's natural environment with architectural creations which merge with their surroundings. And Jameos del Agua is one of his creations that is not to be missed. It's probably the best example of his vision for the entire island. It's the first art, culture, and tourism center created by Manrique. It has a natural underground lake, restaurant, bars, auditorium, artificial pool, all in a garden-like environment inside a volcanic tunnel. Los Jameos del Agua originated after the eruption of La Corona Volcano. The word jameo refers to the large hole in the lava tubes that were formed when the roof of the volcanic tubes collapsed. There are actually 3 jameos, or openings, in this almost 7-kilometer long tube. The restaurant is located in Jameo Chico, the pool is located in Jameo Grande, and the auditorium is the Jameo de la Cazuela. The natural auditorium seats 550 people, offering magnificent acoustics. Special tickets are available for night visits, which include light shows, dinner, and a concert. Links in the description below. The crystalline lagoon is about 7 meters deep and produced by the filtration of seawater. It's home to 77 endemic species, among which is the famous blind albino crab, which is the symbol of Lanzarote because the island is the only place on Earth where this type of crab can be found. The white and blue artificial pool looks so inviting, but you can't swim. It's rumored that only the King of Spain has the right to swim in the pool inside Jameos del Agua. At the top of the center is La Casa de los Volcanes, a museum that displays work on volcanology. We didn't end up eating there because we weren't hungry. But wouldn't it have been amazing to dine inside a volcanic tube with contemporary dishes made from local ingredients? Speaking of gastronomy, besides Jameos del Agua, Lanzarote has some unique offerings.
We're here just for the heat. This is catching on fire.
How to explain this restaurant? It's been called a gastro tour of the moon on Earth. Located amongst the most impressive volcanoes on the island, the Diablo Restaurant uses the heat coming from inside the earth to cook its food, thanks to a gigantic roasting oven designed by Cesar Manrique.
They're at 300 degrees Celsius.
Let me be clear, you are cooking food over an active volcano. Yep, that's what you're doing. In 1970, Cesar Manrique decided to create a formal restaurant in the area. Thus, with the help of architects Eduardo Cáceres and Jesus Soto, a giant grill was built on the ground that makes use of the immense heat below the Earth's surface, and that's how El Diablo was born. The grill is used to prepare several dishes of meat and fish that are served at the restaurant. If Lanzarote is not famous for its wine, it should be. Visit the area of La Geria because this area takes full advantage of the volcanic, ash-covered soil to create vineyards and holes in the ground protected by semicircular walls built from volcanic rock to produce wines such as the famous Malvasia wine. Lanzarote is dotted with wineries and vineyards. But this one is a good one because you can do the tasting while you're walking around the strange vines, getting a detailed explanation in Spanish, and a tour of the winemaking process. The guides are really knowledgeable. The wines are inexpensive yet delicious. They give you reds and whites on the tasting tour, and I don't like white wine, but I liked 2 of the whites I tried there. Roaming around vineyards among volcanoes is an otherworldly experience. The vines look like green mounds against black volcanic gravel. You get the impression that this is one of the world's most remote grape-growing regions because it features scenery and flavors that are completely different from any other wine area on Earth.
Muy básica, sobre todo la protección del viento, de los vientos alisios sobre todo que son los fuertes que nos llegan aquí, y el tema de embudo para la humedad o la lluvia en este.
The reason the vines are grown in pits like this is to protect them from being blown over or uprooted by strong, consistent Atlantic trade winds. In the 18th century, Lanzarote was a lush island with a thriving agricultural industry. However, several of its volcanoes exploded over farm fields in the 1730s. According to the blog Tree Hugger, the farming communities of Lanzarote saw this as a complete disaster. At first. They soon found that the new layer of nutrient-rich volcanic soil was ideal for farming certain types of crops. Its spongy consistency allowed it to absorb water quickly and retain moisture for long periods of time. The ash also acted as a kind of insulator, keeping the soil temperature consistent even if the air temperature fluctuated. Post-eruption Lanzarote became an ideal wine-growing region. Grapes actually thrive in this ashy soil, and the island's high slopes offer ideal elevation for the vines. The cool breezes from the Atlantic and the warm temperatures from the African mainland give the vineyards the kind of warm to cool variation the grapes need. This difference in temperature is important for grapes to develop both the right amount of acidity from cool nights and sweetness from warm and sunny days. Almost all the wineries in this region bottle their own product as opposed to selling grapes or outsourcing production to other places. This results in a collection of artisan wines that are served and sold in bodegas run by the vineyards themselves. Tourists sometimes arrive at the wineries' bodegas on the backs of camels. Imported from the Sahara long ago, camels are able to easily traverse the soft sandy soil and go where vehicles can't. Some wineries still follow the traditional practice of using camels to haul newly harvested grapes from the vineyard to the processing areas, which are lower on the hillside. Links to the article in the description below. We arrived at the first resort as the sun was setting. That resort was stunning at any time of day or night, from any angle. Both resorts we stayed in were luxurious, but, as you will see, had different ideas of what luxury means. This resort was more remote, on the edge of the island in Playa Blanca. It felt more private and isolated. You could run for miles on that trail near the shore. The resort understood that there is elegance in simplicity. The sleek white walls gave it a super clean and modern look. The staff was friendly but mostly left you alone. Hardly anyone was there. It was peaceful and, oddly enough, less expensive than the second resort we stayed in. We went during COVID, so we were warned that the resorts would be closed and that Lanzarote had no good hotels. This couldn't be further from the truth. La Cala Suites is a 5-star adults-only hotel that was easy to book in April of 2021 when we went, and actually quite affordable at 140 euros per night. Right now, as of October of 2022, prices range from about 190 to 300 euros per night. Breakfast is included. The hotel offers free Wi-Fi, a gym, a restaurant, bar, snack bar, garden, multiple pools, and it says it offers a spa, hot tub, and airport shuttle, but we don't really know because we didn't use those services. The standard room is very spacious and can easily sleep 3 people. All rooms have views of the pool and ocean, and some even have views of the mountains. We would return, and we highly recommend this resort. The food was affordable, locally produced, and delicious. The second resort we stayed in was called Lanai Suites, and as you can see, it was less remote. It's kind of located in the middle of a downtown area in Puerto del Carmen, in the Las Palmas area, which seemed more heavily populated than where we were at the other resort in Playa Blanca. It was a 4-star adults-only hotel, but it was double the price. The customer service, however, was fantastic. The staff called us the morning of check-in to ask when we would be arriving, and we kept in contact to let them know that we were running late. They checked in on us to make sure we were okay, even though the drive was only 30 minutes from La Cala. We accidentally passed the hotel and pulled over to look at the GPS on our phones, and somehow they knew it was us because when we looked up, an employee was at our car asking if we were Chris and Tara and if he could help. The employee instructed us where to park, took our bags, walked us to the lobby where a champagne reception was waiting for us. Rural, like escondido?
Sí.
Yeah.
Estoy esperando por la foto. Digo, para no quitar la botella.
Estoy grabando un poquito. The customer service kept on getting better from there. There were so many free gifts in the suite. I would have preferred the room to have cost $250 per night or less and had no free gifts than to have been given a bunch of stuff but pay 400 to 500 euros per night. The staff even warmed up our leftover paella for us and brought it to our balcony, fully served on a tray with dishes, silverware, bread, everything we would need to have a great lunch overlooking the pool. Té y café gratis. Muy bien, la paella ha llegado. Hola, gracias. Vamos a comer paella, leftovers, en nuestro balcón con vistas del mar y la piscina. Y they agreed to prepararlo para nosotros. Okay, here's the thing. I can't decide if this hotel is pretty or tacky. I think it's a little of both. I liked it, but it was what I thought of as luxury when I was a little girl. You probably can't see all the bling, but their logo is a diamond, and there are just pictures of wooden white diamonds with glitter on them everywhere. Gratis, gratis, regalos, todos. Gracias, adiós.
Gracias, adiós.
Adiós.
Gracias,
Adiós.
Bueno, yo soy Alejandro, me he presentado. Un placer.
Remember the name of the restaurant where we got it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Rip-off restaurant. It's on the receipt. I guess I just think the bling is a little tacky, but the customer service makes up for it.
Well, look what we have here. So tell me, what is your impression of this hotel?
They prepared our room early because we wanted to come early. They gave us a tour of the resort. There's bicycles that you can rent. They parked the car for us. There's a metal leopard by the pool, and it's sort of like carved out metal to make it look like it's rhinestone. And there's this rhinestone-esque decor and rope lights, and it's just not my taste. I love the white walls though, and the landscaping was incredible, especially the cacti. It's brightly lit. In general, we ate breakfast at the resorts because breakfast was included. It was all high quality ingredients that were local with great views, so this made sense for us. In summary, I would say that Lanzarote is the most unique place I've ever been in my entire life, with the most unique landscapes. Even more beautiful than Santorini, Greece, and with terrain more bizarre than the landscapes of Peru. By the way, if you're interested in strange environments, check out our Peru and Ecuador playlist. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below describing the thing you found most surprising about Lanzarote.